Hello gentlemen, this is Showman from Oil and Gas Field Quality Control. In the project, always you heard about the risk and opportunity. While studying this ISO 9001, this risk and opportunity, risk assessment, risk management, this type of words are very familiar. So let us discuss something about the risks today, and I will make another video for the opportunities also. So how to assess the risk in the EPC projects and how to give a score or marks, which risk is severe, which is mild or minor, how to assess this in a project. Let us discuss little bit in detail. This is Showman from Oil and Gas Field Quality Control. Let us start the topic for today. What we will be generally discussing today is definition of risk and why we need to assess them, then align on the project context, means with the project we will take some live example of some risk and then we will discuss today. Identify new and emerging risk by all participants and all parties in the meeting. This is generally happening. I am creating a complete risk assessment session. Generally we are performing in the project for your practical understanding. Then we will validate the score existing risk by all participants and parties. Then we will prioritize the high impact risk to mitigate and define mitigation action and assign the owners who is responsible for this risk to mitigate it, to identify it and everything. What is the actually definition of risk and opportunity? Risk is an uncertain event or set of circumstances that should it or they occur would have an effect on the achievement of one or more of the project objectives. And what is opportunity? Is a positive risk, means opportunity, you know the meaning of the word opportunity, is a risk, positive risk that if it is occurs has a beneficial impact on the project objectives such as scope, schedule, cost and quality. Bit detail, what is a risk for an EPC projects? Let us discuss one or two more definitions available in internet. In the EPC project, engineering, procurement and construction, risk means anything that can cause the project to be late, over budget, lower quality, unsafe or legally problematic. For an EPC contractor, risk is often, they say that we promise to deliver a finished facility for a fixed price and date. Anything that threatens that promise is a risk. Design risk, some example, errors or incomplete engineering, design changes after work has started, procurement risk, delays in buying equipment or material, supplier failure or poor quality of material, price increases for steel and equipment or freight, construction risk, site delays, labor shortage, equipment breakdown, poor contractor performance, schedule risk, permitting or approval delays, weather impacts. These are all can be included in the project schedule risk, means if this risk comes, it can delay the schedule or plan of the project of completion. Cost risk, budget overruns, currency fluctuations, unexpected site conditions, claims and variation orders. Quality risk, work not meeting the specification or code, rework and defects. Safety risk, accidents, too many accidents, injuries, fatalities, regulatory shutdowns. Legal and contractual risk, disputes over scope, delays or responsibility, penalties, claims or litigation. Environmental and regulatory risks, permit issues, environmental non-compliance, changing laws and standards. Now, why we need to assess the risks for the project? You got an idea. Let us little bit discuss in detail. Risk assessment is needed in EPC project to reduce surprises and keep the project safe, on time, within budget and legally under control. We need to assess risk in an EPC project because it helps identify threats to cost, schedule, quality, safety and contract performance early, so the team can take preventive action and deliver the project successfully. The main reasons of assessing the risk: to protect budget, Risk assessment helps identify possible cost increases proactively before they happen. This allows the team to set contingencies and avoid nasty financial surprises. To protect schedule, EPC projects are very schedule sensitive. Delays in engineering, procurement and construction can affect the entire project timeline. To avoid contract disputes, EPC contracts often have strict terms for scope, delivery and performance. Assessing risk help clarify responsibilities and reduce claims, variations and legal conflicts. To improve decision making, when risks are known, project managers can choose better methods, supplier and execution strategies. To manage safety, construction and commissioning activities can be dangerous. Risk assessment help prevent accident and protect workers. To improve quality, it helps spot design and execution issues early, reducing rework and defects. So assessing risk means proactive steps. You already know what are the risks might have come. So this is very, very important to assess the risk, and this meeting should happen, this assessment should happen. For our project, this is quarterly. Every 3 months we have one risk assessment session based on the stage of the project, so that we are already ready for any kind of negativity coming to the project. To improve quality, it helps the spot design execution issues early, reducing rework and defect. To ensure project success, EPC projects are often fixed price and lump sum. That means the contractor carries a lot of risk, so early assessment is essential to deliver the project profitably and successfully. How EPC risks are handled? In an EPC arrangement, risk is never eliminated. It is strategically allocated between the project owner and the contractor. Like contractual transfer, the owner mitigates their own risk by placing broad responsibility on the contractor, often utilizing strict penalties like liquidated damages for the late delivery. Scrutiny mechanism: owners protect themselves against contractor failure by requiring performance bond and parent company guarantees. Best mitigation strategies: the most effective risk management occurs before construction starts, as fixing a materialized risk during construction is incredibly expensive. Clearly defining expectation to minimize the risk of change orders. Financial due diligence: assessing contractor or supplier financial health prior to awarding contracts. Rigorous project control: using real-time milestone-based tracking or reporting to identify critical path delays early. So there are some documents we generally prepare for the project. From live example, I can tell you for our project it is risk analysis procedure, project risk and opportunity management plan, and then there are 2 registers, one is for the risk and another for the opportunity. Let us check the goal for risk assessment workshop in 3 bullets. Identify and assess, then identify the risk first and opportunities which have not been yet identified, using the wide experience and knowledge of the participants involved in the project. You know, participation and contribute in the risk assessment is responsibility for each and every level, leaders, and even worker can give a possible risk at site. So we need to take the input first, then we clarify is that really valid or not. Then we will build consensus on all parties' collaboration and lay the foundation for subsequent risk control and opportunity exploration. So we need to develop the mitigation process here. Now, risk assessment process, in short, with a diagram you can see first identification, then we evaluate the risk, then we mitigate the risk, then we monitor the implementation, and then we report finally. And then we have review meeting again that these risks are already done, make a solution. Now time for the new risk assessment. Risk and opportunity quantitative examination. The probability rating, we are following the path now. Give a score or marks to a risk. It is severe, minor, medium, low, very low, like that. So this is a probability rating. You can see from this table, probability very low is 0 to 10%. This is the marking system, and low 11 to 30%, medium 31 to 50, high is 51 to 70, where is very high is above 70. How to evaluate and give a score to the risk. I will not read the whole table. You can stop the slide and take a screenshot if you need a reference. So you can see the impact very low. For an example of the quality, let's say discuss of the quality. Very low is nuances in the project or work. Then medium is major deficiencies for the project and work. High is project does not satisfy all requirements or facilities or not meet the performance spec, means the requirement of the client. And then very high is product is unusable, means not conforming is a different thing and you cannot use the project. So this is very high risk. So product is unusable or facilities cannot produce or deliver usable inject water. So our project is a water injection project, so we write it here, water injection. Risk and opportunity quantitative evaluation means a mark, a guideline is set, each of the item described. Then contractor to propose is evaluation criteria. Here is a formula, risk or opportunity score is equal to impact multiplied by probability. Probability we already discussed. So from this table you can see evaluation criteria. Score less than equal to 4 is considered low criticality. Risk impact or opportunity benefit is negligible. 5 to 15 medium, over 15 is high. So risk demand immediate action and close monitoring, and opportunity demand immediate action and active expansion. Score less than equal to 5, you can see acceptance. For risk, the plan is to accept risk and bear the consequences on its own after evaluation, because very low score. Then if the score is 10 to 15, the plan is to transfer the impact of risk or share the benefits of a realized opportunity. If the score is 5 to 10, the plan is to reduce the probability of the consequences of a risk event to an acceptable threshold, to increase the probability of occurrence and severity or impact for an opportunity. The major concern is 10 to 15 and over 15. When it is 15 and over, the plan is to eliminate the risk by changing the scope, adding time or adding resources. For opportunities, this plan is actively need to take advantage of this opportunity. Basically, the cycle of continuous evaluation with the identification, analysis, control and update continues until the project close out. So here is how the project risk register looks like. You know, the headings are like ID, then identify the risk, then the probability, you give a score to it, then you give a score of impact, level, and the strategies, owner, plan, and residual risk assessment. You can stop the slide if you want to see the content of the table. Then here are some risks we will discuss. Let's say initial part of the project, fund. Maybe client is not giving you enough fund, so the fund is not coming properly. So you can assess this, and you can tell them, inform in the risk assessment machine to the client to allocate more funds, otherwise project schedule will be discussed. So the score, of course, it is high. So risk score is 16. Total marks can be 25. So out of 25, it has 16. So it is considered a little bit higher end of this thing. And this is the mitigation, how you mitigate this one. We closely monitor the government budget control process, maintain proactive financial planning, provide timely forecast, and develop a detailed on-site construction schedule, and strictly control the milestone. So these are some mitigation measures. So let us go for another risk. Now, change of laws and regulation. Local laws and regulation suddenly change due to some situation, some political thing, some war situation. So it can be increased. So this is also kind of high, 16. And what is the mitigation? Regional military escalation. Due to the escalation of regional military involved in whatever the reason, I will not go in detail. This is just an example. So this is also a very high risk. You can score it like 20. So let us talk about some technical change risk due to insufficient initial project data, unclear client requirement, as well as new requirements from authorities, other parties' design changes. So this will consider it is moderate kind of thing. Out of 25, the score is 16. And the mitigation is we can push our client to immediately give us the solution or requirement they should specify with a scope changes or whatever. They issue a revised document to us, accordingly contractor will plan. One risk for quality, let's say. So there are contractor not much available for internal field coating of the pipeline. Our project is a pipeline project and it has internal coating. So after the welding, the field weld also internally coating by the coating robot. So there are two ways we can coat the joint: this field weld FB coating, fusion bonded epoxy coating, or liquid epoxy coating. In the market, actually FB coating contractors are not much available. So we are looking for the alternative solution as liquid epoxy coating. So we are trying to identify this risk, and mitigation is this alternative liquid epoxy coating. We can develop a demonstration and we get confidence from our client that this will also be a very good acceptable alternative for FB. You see logistic and transportation risk. During project bidding, you just claim that we will use the shortest route to procure the line pipes or big materials with cargo ships. But now suddenly, due to some disruptions or logistic issue, that route is closed, so we need to take a longer route. This will impact financially, this will delay the time. So all these things are adversely affecting the project progress and completion date. So all of these risks are identified and then we are trying to mitigate it. We optimize the full process of logistic plan, select the capable experienced carrier including the section, transport, vessels and vehicle, route planning, we can change the route, and control over shipment batches and schedule. So that's all with enough example of risk assessment for a EPC project. Hope you guys gain some knowledge. Signing off for today, Showman. I will come with another video of opportunity management. Thank you.